So this initiative in partnership with NASCOM Foundation is all about skill development, and that's entirely derived from our strategy, the CSR strategy, which is to develop market relevant skills in the communities around us. And we chose skills, which will make people successful in the digital world, in the future world, the new world that is coming into being. So that's simply put, that's what.
Well, it's a huge challenge, but if we have more of these sort of initiatives, the challenges can be surmounted. But I mean, you missed the earlier part of this afternoon. It was remarkable the kind of metamorphosis that some of the children and the young people have undergone post completing their sessions here. So if you were to just say, what's the challenge? How many people need to be skilled and to what level? It's huge. But is it possible to overcome that? Absolutely. And I think we've seen evidence of that today. So we need more of these sort of initiatives. We need more companies and more groups of people to get together. There's no reason why we can't expand this and double or treble its size.
This is a recurring initiative. It does not end with one batch. So there's going to be a fresh batch that is going to start. We have more centers like this, and on a recurring basis we get fresh students, we train them, and then they are deployed in various organizations. Our endeavor now also is to make them deployable in EXL and expand the courses that we are giving so that they are more market relevant, and as and when the market refreshes the need of skills, we are able to keep pace with that, and we keep adding the different verticals in the course that we offer. So that's our endeavor.
Typically what we start with the target is to at least place 70% of the people who are getting trained here. And so far we have been able to achieve that target. And we want people to be successful. So therefore it doesn't end with their placement. We keep a track of these people who have taken up jobs for the next 6 months, so that we know that they have not left the organization after joining, and the effort actually continues.
It's our belief that in order to be successful, we have to be focused. So there were a number of possible areas that we could have got involved with. But like Shailendra said, we sort of decided to focus in on 2 areas, education and skill development, and in many ways they are related. And within that, we limited ourselves to areas that are relevant to our business. Not purely from the standpoint that we're going to employ all these people, but these are the businesses that we understand. We understand what the skill requirements are, and therefore we can play a much more meaningful role in shaping the curriculum and the delivery of the curriculum and all of that. So within skill development, we sort of focused on business process management related skills and analytics skills. So our CSR initiative actually extends far beyond just what we've seen here. And so it's linked with what we do because we understand what's required.
Because our people know these skills, they are expert in these areas. When they come here to volunteer, to spend time with the children or with the students here, the candidates here, they are able to make a huge impact, in the outcome that we are expecting from the CSR initiative. So, the employment outcome, we are trying to improve that outcome. It simply amplifies that total impact and outcome.
The other 2 points I would add, and I think Shail sort of triggered that idea in my mind. It's not just the money we spend. It's not just the corporate resources that are dedicated to CSR. A very large component of our CSR initiative is to motivate our own employees to volunteer. To us, that is a much bigger impact component of our initiative than just the funding that we make available. So I think that is important. The second thing is, while we say education and skill development, we don't restrict ourselves to just hardcore skills. I think last night Shailendra and I were talking, and we were talking about life skills. It's fine, you've taught these people these things, but like you said, we track them for 6 months. What we try to do is set them up for a successful career long term. So they're also picking up life skills, skills that are going to help them succeed. What are the qualities that they need to inculcate so that, you know, they are successful. Obviously not everyone's going to succeed, but if we can sort of increase the percentage that would otherwise have been the case, I think we made a difference. Not yet, and I'm not sure we would even want to do that. The problem with targets is you get into numerical, it becomes a race,
Right.
and you take your eye off quality.
Right, that's important.
I just want to add on that because here we feel that we believe with the human mind. We are not producing any kind of manufacturing any kind of material. Rather, we are dealing with the people's mindset. We have to change them. We have to motivate them, and we have to create a good human resource for this country. So it's about how we are going to do it and how we are creating a win-win situation for our corporate and for the community in a sustainable way. So we believe in that.
Absolutely, and it's evolving. I mean, this is one initiative. There are others that we've tried. Some have worked, some have not worked. So what we do next year will be based on our learning from this year. So we'll probably double down on some initiatives, discontinue others. So it's not like, you know, setting a 5-year plan target that this particular program has to go at this pace. No.
And as Pavan said, our employees are a very important component of this. So it is not only in India, but globally we want to have a sustained impact. And whatever initiative we take up, they are close to our office premises so that our employees are able to make difference, one to the initiative or the project, and also to themselves and the organization. So that is a very, very important part of the strategy.
Okay.
So we've got similar programs in the Philippines, in the United States. Within India, we've got similar programs in Pune and Bangalore. So it's not just restricted. They all are.
So they all are, and we are very much focused. We say that we are focused on skill development, so we do that.
Okay.
Skill development, and whatever we do that with complete dedication and commitment. And quality is, the supreme for all the centers. So I would not pick one. Personally, I would feel that all are flagship initiatives.
And the focus is not only on the CSR team, going ahead and doing these things, but the focus runs down right from the board to the CEO to the executive committee. And the focus is more on the quality and making a sustained difference. As Pavan said, it is not about the numbers. It is about the kind of impact that you are able to achieve, sustain it, grow it, and then also to ensure that we are at every point of time we are relevant, and the people that we are working with are also relevant in the market, so that we are able to have a sustained difference. So I think that is a very, very important area. So Shell is actually best placed, but I would want to talk about a nurses initiative that we do in Philippines, and a lot of people there aspire to get into nursing, and they also want to within the country and outside the country in the healthcare industry, they want to take the profession as nurses. So that's where in Philippines, because it's a market relevant skill for the Philippines, we are investing in equipping people to become good nurses.
Okay.
So that's one initiative that we could talk about. Then we have a lot of schools that we work with in the area of education, and it's not only us but our clients also. One of our clients, and I can't name the client, but they along with us have adopted one project or one school where they are making a huge amount of a difference. So in Philippines also, we have a school in US, we work very closely with veterans, and we are now looking at, penetrating into providing education in the analytics space, because analytics is something which is our core competence. And I think Shell will have more knowledge.
Right. So, the analytics program that we are running, because the focus is on what are the emerging skills, wherein we give whatever we impart as skills has sustainability, at least in the near term. I'm not talking about long term. So, we have picked up analytics because that's the base, or, data is something which is core to everything which is digital. Talk about machine learning, talk about artificial intelligence. It all depends on on data, and that's digital. So we have taken that up in a big way. And what we are saying is that there are many colleges that train engineers, where people come with analytical mind and skills. But when they pass out, when they graduate from those colleges, when they go to the market, they don't find a job. The challenge is they are not employable because they don't have the right skills. So we are launching a few initiatives in analytics training. That's in partnership with engineering colleges, and we have chosen a few colleges in Noida and Bangalore to run these initiatives. So we are currently, as I speak, we are doing assessments with the students, and then once we'll have a batch, we'll start the training program. So that's a very new initiative, and Pavan is very closely involved in this initiative as well.
But the older ones are the ones that are now more mature. So
Yeah.
2 school programs, one here and one in Pune, in collaboration with clients. When the school first started, it only went to class 6.
Yeah, I think it was not even class 6, I think 5 onwards, and every year the school grew by
I
class.
think 2 years ago we had our first graduates,
Okay.
and we shifted buildings. Our staff actually volunteer and go and teach. So it's a pretty. We've been doing this for quite some time.
Funding is not an issue because funding is something which comes from the government. So that's not a problem. The problem is there are a few challenges in terms of implementation, and as you rightly talked about, finding the right partners. Especially in some of the new initiatives that we are getting into, it's difficult to find partners who have done that. And we have. I was talking about this analytics program. We are facing challenges, but yes, it's a learning process. Identifying the right institutes where we can actually run this initiative, identifying the right partners who can actually execute this on the ground for us. So these are, I think, primarily some of the challenges. Renuka, you may want to add.
I just want to add one thing, because nowadays CSR is like a glamorous word for the organization, right? So what happened, you have multiple partners, a lot of avenues are there, but when you go to the ground for implementation, the way we faced for this center, we have enrolled the students, but mobilization of that student, sensitizing their parents that why we are doing that skill development and what kind of changes they are going to take place in their life in coming future. So sensitization and mobilization of a community and make them aware about this. EXL is an organization who is committed and dedicated to make and create change in their life. So I do personally feel that yes, implementing partner is a major concern. After getting the partner also, how we are going to create that brand value, that stake and that sense of commitment in the community is also a major concern area for us.
And sustaining it, because
Right.
you can start a program, it can run for 6 months, it can run for a year, and then it can lose steam because people lose interest.
Right.
I think that's why we pick few programs in specific areas and then continue with them. And this school 10-year anniversary, it's a great illustration of the fact that we've stayed the course. Because a lot of people want to get involved in CSR, and like Riva says, and then once they're, oh yeah, okay, then it's gone, it's over. Then where's the next lot coming from?
And actually, Pawan, even in home school, we have been able to see the real impact now after so many years of investing into this. The children that are coming out of the school, actually, they are so bright. When they go into the mainstream school, some of them after 10 have got into some private schools in Noida. They are the stars of that school.
One thing that I have noticed after the Companies Act, coming into effect, I have seen, a lot of organizations, they go ahead and they really, through CSR, they do not do a sustained impact. In fact, they look at how they can utilize that money back for the organization. I think sustainability is about growth, it is about community, it is about profitability. So the whole sustainability proposition, if we really understand, whatever we plow back, to the community is something that is going to come back to us, maybe not in a more tangible way. So I think it is very important for organizations to realize that this is not only about, a glamorous event, okay? Or, for few people to volunteer only for some point of time, get recognized and move away from initiative. But we all need to really get together and have a sustained long-term impact. So I think if organizations start thinking like that, for example, Home School, we just talked about 10 years. It was before the Companies Act, really came into effect. So it is really that mindset that is going to take all the nations, forward. So I think that mindset is extremely important for us to inculcate in the organizations and the employees, so that everybody is benefited.
So it's not just the money. The money is actually the easy part. It's the volunteering. It's people taking this on as a mission. That is what really gives shape to this. Otherwise, it's just another. A lot of companies will meet their CSR targets by funding foundations that they know nothing about.
Right.
We choose to get involved ourselves, and we want our employees to get involved. And it's not whether we meet our monetary commitments or not, it's whether we actually see tangible difference on a sustained basis. So to us, it's more a mission. You got to give it that sort of commitment.